All right, Tampa Bay fans, I'm going to make a video that is hard for me to make. And look, we make no bones about it. We're Lions fans. I got my Lions shirt on. We got the Hutch jersey back there. But our Detroit Lions lost to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a revenge game. And let me tell you, Baker Mayfield looked like he was out for blood. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to get to later in this video just a freak athlete for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that I think is on the verge of being one of the better defenders in the league. And I'm just going to remind you of who he is, where he came from, and what to look forward to. Also, there's a couple of good news things for you. So let's talk about your quarterback. Let's talk about Vita Vea and his injury. And then let's talk about this freak athlete that I'm talking about. So first thing I want to talk about is Baker Mayfield. First, let me say to the Bucs fans, congratulations on your win. You just put the NFL on notice, right? You went into the den, the Lions den, really legitimately. We call it defend the den, right? So we're sitting, you come into the den, you beat one of the top rated teams in the NFL, and even when everything was kind of stacked against you, you found a way to win. So congratulations on that. And one of the big reasons you did that was Baker Mayfield. Now, when you look at his numbers, 12 of 19, 185 yards, a touchdown and a pick, it's not overwhelming. He was also your leading rusher. But if you look a little bit deeper, all right, Baker was 6 of 8 when blitzed against versus the Lions, and now has completed 71% of his passes when blitzed on the season. All right, so he is responding better to the blitz. He was under pressure all day. He was under pressure against Aiden Hutchinson. 4.5 sacks for Hutch. But yet he just kept finding a way. They were able to get the ball into the end zone when it needed to be. And quite frankly, I was really impressed with what Baker did. But the reason that this is even better news is because you have a new offensive coordinator, and the offense and all the weapons that you've invested in it seem to be paying off. And then your head coach, the defensive-minded head coach, is seemingly able to take the less talented side of the ball and doing great things with them as well. So when we talk about that side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, defensive tackle Vita Vea has now been listed as day-to-day with an MCL sprain. Now, usually these things do take a little bit longer, all right? And we knew he left early due to a leg injury, and we knew he did not and was not able to come back. So here's what Todd Bowles had to say. Yeah, he has an MCL sprain, grade 2. Bowles said when asked about the update on Vea. Right now, he's day-to-day, but not ruled out. All right? Wow. How much better could this have been? Because you know how it is. We go to Dr. Twitter, right? And we get to see what all the medical professionals, they look at the tape, they look at the injury, and there was a question of is it an MCL tear? Is it an ACL tear? There was a lot of, what are we doing? How nervous are we going to be? An MCL sprain is the exact best thing. By the way, Detroit Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown, very similar thing. There was a fear, could it be an MCL sprain/tear? And it turned out being a quad contusion or a thigh contusion. So that was good as well. But hey, you guys are Bucs fans. You don't want me talking about this. All right. Kalijah Kancey hasn't played it down this season due to a calf injury. Antoine Winfield Jr. was out and is out for several weeks with an injured foot. So you're just trying to buy your time, but you are 2-0. You're looking good. You're in the driver's seat, and you've let the NFL know that, hey, we are here and we are here to stay. But I need to talk to you about another player, all right? And that player is Zion McCollum, all right? This is a guy that when he went into the league, I almost didn't believe the athleticism. I believe he's out of Sam Houston State. And I'm going to show you something right now that is going to kind of make your head spin. This is called RAS. If you watch this channel, by the way, if you do watch it often and you want more, not only Bucs content, but multiple teams in the NFL, we love covering teams that don't have this big national spotlight on them. No Cowboys, none of that kind of stuff. All right. We cover the other teams because we resonate with that in Detroit. So we like covering teams like the Bucs. And the relative athletic score basically shows how athletic you are based on testing metrics from the combine in comparison to anybody else at your position. The highest score possible is a 10. One person has a 10. There's only one person with a 10, and that is Zion McCallum, because the only person who has the 10 is the single most athletic person to ever test. This was in 2022 that he came out. He was a 5th-round pick in 2022, and he was the number 1 rated cornerback for athleticism out of 2,001 cornerbacks that were tested. All right? Everything is elite. The only thing that isn't green, I've never seen anything like this, is bench press. And it was close to green. All right? It was close to green. It was a yellow. He has size. He has weight. He has explosion. He has agility. He has speed. Now the question is, when can he put it all together? Last year is when he was able to start getting more snaps. He was able to play more. In fact, he played 784 snaps over the course of the season. But during those 784 snaps, he was okay, right? I mean, he was okay. When you look at his stats, last year, he had 84 targets his way with 47 receptions allowed. He didn't make any interceptions. He didn't do anything like that. He was a good run defender, but his coverage grade was very poor at 47.3 according to PFF. Like it, hate it, do whatever you want. But there's a stat that I look at that I think is more important even than PFF, and he was able to do pretty good with that stat. All right, and it is passer rating allowed, and he allowed an 82.9. That is well below league average. Now, I understand the Bucs played a lot of poor quarterback play last year, so you'd expect it to be. But when he's giving up a not great completion percentage, right? Like, it was pretty good, 47 on 84 targets. Like, that's pretty good. Like, you saw that there was some stuff there, but he was a work in process. He was coming out of a small little school called Sam Houston State. Now this year, all of a sudden, he is balling out. He's only had 6 targets. He's only allowed 2 catches. And in those 6 times he was targeted, he has a pick. All right? His run defense has suffered a little bit, but his coverage grade is phenomenal. His passer rating allowed in the first 2 games this year is 4.2. All right? He is utilizing that athleticism, and he is starting to say, you know what? No, I think I can be one of these elite corners in the NFL. I know it's too early to just crown him that, but when you look at the athleticism and you see him start to figure it out in this Todd Bowles system, all of a sudden you start to say to yourself, oh, we might have found something in the 5th round that can be really special. All right. Lots of good news for the Bucs on top of the NFC South. Hey, I got to eat some crow, right? I thought the Lions were going to come away with a victory, but your Bucs did instead. It's painful. I have to admit, it is painful, and it was hard to come on here and talk about it. It was. And now I'll go back to Sports Talk Detroit and talk about how much I love the Lions as well. All right, keep watching us. We're trying to give you non-biased news about multiple teams in the NFL because we love football. It's just a bummer when one of them beats my team. All right, thanks for watching. All right, have fun being a Bucs fan. It's a good time.